US citizens are now deciding to move to Africa because of Speed's new stream. Well, as you know, when Speed went to China, he basically exposed that American propaganda has made China seem that it's just like some communist, like you can't even survive. But in actuality, it was the most beautiful cities people have ever seen. US citizens were like, wait, what the heck? Y'all's taxes are low. Everything you buy is like extremely cheap. It's affordable. Families are healthy. Everything is perfect. They're like, wait a second, we're literally being propagated in the US. Now Speed is going to Africa and people are saying he's going to do the same thing. What do y'all think? Wallahi, he will undo years of propaganda that Africa is a bad place to be. And yeah, in my current American brain, when I think of Africa, I think of no water, huts, sand. Like, dude, it's actually funny. I don't know, like, it's just all the propaganda from just being in America. What do y'all think about this? This is getting millions of views. Do you think this is actually gonna happen the same way it did with this China stream? I'm actually kind of curious. Let me know what y'all think.
Ishow Speed is in Mozambique. I was not familiar with your game. Mozambique is beautiful. Even I did not know what Mozambique truly looked like, and I got to see it. Mozambique is beautiful.
Mozambique, yeah.
The energy in Mozambique, top notch. Just look at the people. Look at the people giving him the flag. They're giving him the flag. They're like, this is the flag of Mozambique. And Ishow Speed, very respectful. Just grab the flag and it's just like showing the flag. Here I am in Mozambique.
Mozambique, yeah.
Ishow Speed was amazed by the way women in Mozambique was carrying the luggage on their head. I mean, it's something that happens throughout Africa, but he saw it for the first time in Mozambique and he was trying to do it. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He tried, but he couldn't do it. He was like, I cannot get it. How do y'all make it fit on your head? I don't know. That's just the magic of the African woman. I cannot do it either. It's amazing to see them do it. It's just like, keep it steady on their head. Like my mom does it. My mama used to do it with my brother on her back and she's carrying something on her head. Steady. And she's gonna work like that for about 20 to 30 minutes sometimes. No problem.
Mozambique, yeah.
Now I have a question. Mozambique, y'all got some explaining to do because I'm trying to understand what is a human jump rope. Who came out with it? Who convinced everybody that, you know what, from now on, we're gonna start using humans as rope? Because this looks like fun. That kid up there is having a lot of fun. Mozambique, y'all got some vibes over there.
Mozambique, yeah.
Even though Mozambique is doing a great job, unfortunately, Ishow Speed had his first disrespect moment, and this one came from someone who does not look like us.
Why you say that, bro? Why you say that? Why you say that?
It's a meme.
Why you say
It's a meme.
Why you say Ishow me, bro?
It's a meme.
It don't matter, bro. Why you say that?
This is what I've been trying to tell y'all. We are not trying to see these people. Anyways, Mozambique, y'all getting the job done. I'm loving the energy in Mozambique and I'm just waiting to see more.
Mozambique, yeah.
Ishow Speed streams in Africa needs to be studied because he is breaking down generational stereotypes about Africa and about all these people just live in huts and they're not modernized. And you can just tell with the energy and vibes that they give. Speed is feeling welcome. He's feeling at home amongst these people. And when he was in Europe, he was being treated as an escapade. He was being treated like as a minstrel show, like, do this for us, do this dance for us, boy. And it's a complete different energy. And that's why at the end of the day, we need to get rid of these diaspora wars, because if we actually were amongst each other in person, we would get along and we would like each other. I've seen a lot of people say they are wanting to visit Africa after Ishow Speed has been doing this stream. So yes, this has been successful. It's been educational. And I'm actually considering tuning into one of the streams to actually learn something from Ishow Speed. Like, to me, this is what streaming is all about. Not just bringing celebrities and being messy. This man is teaching people. He's doing different things. He's exposing himself to the world and he's making the world a better place. Ishow Speed is great energy. And to see him from where he started as a streamer to see where he is today, I'm proud of who he has become.
Hey, yo, I know I talk big shit about Africa, B. But after watching this Ishow Speed stream in Africa, South Africa, and Johannesburg and all over, like, yo, I'm coming. Yo, listen, everybody who I offended, all those Africans down there in South Africa and Burkina Faso and all, yo, my bad. Yo, call me Kunta Kinte, cause I'm on my motherfucking way. I'll see y'all in a minute. Speed's showing me the real side of Africa right now. Like, yo, like it ain't all like Somali or here Congo, and man, you got some places out there that are just it just scream home to your soul. Good looking, Speed. Call me Kunta. I'm coming home.
I don't know if it's bots, but I'm watching the Ishow Speed thing, and I'm seeing a lot of like bots or regular people saying, "I thought Africa was all huts." What? The place that all the Europeans steal from, you thought it was all huts? The Europeans stole so much from Africa, they even took the people. That's where you get a person like me, a black American. So what are you talking about? Africa's rich on its own. It's just, there's like, what's stopping it from being rich is Europeans stealing and causing confusion. That's what's stopping it. Like, black Americans, we can see our oppressor. They can't. It's like another black person doing it over there. But they don't know it's a white person pulling all the strings.
The only country, that view is insane. Look at that South African view, bro. That shit is dead ass beautiful, bro. Imagine living here.
You guys can see Ishow Speed reaction of seeing the beauty of the continent of Africa. Right now, I think he's in South Africa, maybe Johannesburg, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday, he was in Angola. Tomorrow, probably gonna go to Botswana, another country. So probably gonna spend like a day and a half in each country. And I can't wait when he goes to Nigeria, Ghana, Morocco, Egypt, Kenya, Uganda, all this beautiful country, Rwanda. I don't want to forget that you're probably gonna go to 24 countries to show you what each country in Africa has, and you guys can be shocked what is each country has the beauty, infrastructure, and all these buildings and all these things. I can't wait when you guys to show Western world that what is Africa has to offer. You know, as soon as you tell someone you're from Africa, they think, oh, you guys don't have cars, you guys don't have houses. Where do you guys live? Do you guys live with a lion? Have you seen a lion before? Like, they ask you stupid ass question. But I'm so happy Ishow Speed right now touring Africa to let people see what is Africa is about. Enjoy your tour, Ishow Speed in Africa, and show the world what is Africa is about. Peace out.
Bro, I'm seeing this Speed thing. Like, he went to Africa. And I'm checking the comments. I don't know if they're bots. Like, I don't know if people are trolling or if they're genuinely being serious. But they're like, oh, Africa's not just huts. Bro, if your age starts with a 2 or higher, if you're 20 plus and you genuinely think that like the majority of people in Africa live in huts, you're slow. Like, I don't even think the education system failed you. I think you were just destined to be an idiot. For Speed to get to this country, he had to land at an airport, right? Which means that this country has enough infrastructure to have an airport, which means they have a control tower, which means they have roads leading to the airport, which means they have security, which means that security has a base somewhere, right? The police, they have a base somewhere, right? Those people need a place to live. Like, bro, like you think the Angolan pilot or some Angolan politician or doctor is going home to their hut after leaving this state-of-the-art facility, right? After being like in the cockpit of a plane, like, yo, think. There's a hotel this dude's probably staying at. Like, what are we even talking about right now, man? Like, people, oh my God, and it's all Americans too. Americans, like, genuinely, bro, when Europeans are saying Americans are stupid, like, some of y'all are genuinely stupid, bro. How, bro, like, why would there not be, like, a big building in Africa? Like, why wouldn't there be one? What? And you have an African friend who lives here, who goes home to, and you know he goes home to Africa every summer or every December. Where do you think he's going? You think this dude goes from his 2-story house in the suburbs to go live in a hut? The funny thing is that being in a hut doesn't even necessarily mean that you're poor or that, you know, you're not doing great in life. Like, a lot of people are just choosing to live there because they can, right? Some of those people have a lot of money, man, right? The poor people are the ones that live in the slums in the city. But then again, it's the city, surrounded by tall buildings. You get what I'm saying? Oh my god. Anyway, bro, this speed thing is insane. I can't wait till he gets to Kenya. Yeah, that's that's the best country in Africa. No bias. It's just the best. It is what it is, man. Just be aware of it.
Speed needs to be careful. I don't usually like blacks, but Speed is one of the good ones, and I don't need those ghetto people over there tainting him, and God forbid they rob him and induct him into their gang. Speed, if you're listening, do not go to Africa anymore! Wait, which one of these tribal people is Ishow Speed? I really can't tell. These Africans just look so similar. They're all jumping around and dancing like animals. I can't tell who is who. What do you mean they speak English and have running water? I thought speaking more than one language was for rich white people, not poors that drink mud. I thought Africa was a country. Why do they keep speaking different languages? I don't like it. Why are there cities and houses on the stream? Are you sure they just didn't secretly stream in Japan because they're supposed to live in mud huts with no technology? Guys, I'm really scared for Speed. What is he gonna eat while he's in Africa? You know they don't have food.
So, Speed is in Africa, and now I done seen people talking about, oh, the CIA and what the CIA was trying to do ain't working because he in Africa, and y'all see how the Africans is treating him. First of all, Speed is in Africa. Everywhere Speed goes, y'all acting like he's not an international stream star. He is. No matter which way you want to turn the key, y'all want to act like he not a real celebrity. These young people know exactly who Speed is. Older people, I've seen older Scottish women saying, oh my God, Speed, hugging him down, trying to get his attention, asking for an autograph. He is world renowned, okay? So just because he's in Africa, he's in Angola, to be specific, because y'all love the child only when it's convenient. Y'all want it to be this specific country, okay? He's in Angola, and everybody's showing him so much love. They're fawning all over him, running up to him. Oh my God, Speed. But they not talking about how they begging him down for money, though. Ain't nobody bringing that up. They out there begging him down for money. There's kids on the floor on their hands and knees begging him down for money. I've seen Africans in Europe begging Black Americans down for money. I've seen video footage of this. So I just want to say this, right? I'm not sitting up here saying that Africans on the continent do not like or do not look up to Black Americans, because a lot of them do. They always have. We're talking about the ones, especially the ones that come here, and then they have this weird secret competition that they have going on with us. They think they're better. They work harder. And they're just so much smarter and all of these other things. Those are usually the ones that's popping it the most. They pop it the most in the comment sections. They pop it the most, on the internet. They pop it the most on the podcast. They pop it. They pop it and they be EBA, bitch. Everywhere but Africa. And they be popping it. The ones in Africa, majority of them are trying to get out of their countries. And when they see an American, they see somebody that and Speed is rich and famous. Y'all act like Speed is out there as a regular everyday commoner trying to blend in with the village folk. Ain't got no money, ain't got nothing to offer. Child, they would treat him like a piece of trash, okay? They would treat him how they treat each other. They would treat him how they treated somebody from another tribe, okay? It's very dog eat dog based off of what I've seen, what I've heard, and just what the hell is actually going on. He's rich and famous. So y'all saying that he is the pinnacle, and now, oh, look at how they treating Speed. He's a celebrity out there to them. You think if Beyonce went to Africa, they would tell her to get out of here and try to steal her land? And no. They would beg her down for money if she was walking through the streets just like they did Speed. Y'all gotta stop this, because at the end of the day, like I said, majority of Africans on the continent, we see videos of them emulating and imitating Black American culture day in and day out. It's the ones that made it out. The ones that's a part of, like, how much percent, the top percent of them, I guess, that actually make it out. Those are the ones that think that they're above and like just better than everybody. Those be the ones that got a decent Wi-Fi because they not actually in Africa and they got... Anyways, y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Bye, y'all. Spread love, Mr. Brooklyn Wayne.
Oh yeah, girl, the propaganda was mad crazy. Like, growing up, I remember, let me just back up. My mother was the first person to tell me about Africa. She told me when I was 4 years old, Africa is the largest continent in the world with the most natural resources, the most beautiful people, and the most beautiful animals, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The early 2000s, they had a rampage of propaganda. We're talking about the virus. Y'all follow me. The virus. It was always these commercials about the virus and how sick the people were, and you have to donate money so that they can get these, the medication for the virus. Another big one was the starvation. They always had the commercials of the starving African family and the starving African child and the flies flying around his head and the huge belly, and they just laying on the ground like just decrepit, and they tried to paint that. It gave you the illusion that was the whole continent. What was another one that they used to do? The virus and the starvation was the big. No running water. They used to show these like villages that had like no running water, and it was like, oh, if you donate this amount of money, it'll help to get running water in these villages, like a pipeline, and all this stuff, right? And they'll show like the well that they had to walk like all these miles to get to the well and get the water, and they had it in a bucket. I'm telling you, it was crazy. Yeah, the propaganda was so bad. Like, it was so bad. And in school, they did not teach us African history. They didn't really teach us about slavery. They didn't really teach us about the continent. They tried to just brush past it. I'm from Southern California, so when I was in school, it really wasn't taught much. When we got to like apartheid, they really wasn't taught about apartheid. Hell, they didn't even teach us about our own history. They didn't really teach us much about Black American history. The most they did was MLK, civil rights, and it was very, very small. Everything else was very whitey-wash. Very European, very whitey presidents. It wasn't much about Black Americans, African people, and the continent. Just wasn't much of it. So when they get to slavery, it's taught that, we were sold, we were brought here, we pretty much built up the nation, and that's pretty much it. It wasn't much depth to it. So now, this is why you're seeing the reactions that we're seeing, because the United States is a nation that is built around lies and to make you believe a false reality, because they don't want you to believe that there's anything better than here. They don't want you to believe that Black people can thrive outside of this ecosystem. Let's put it like that, this ecosystem. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, and let me add this. Then you get like the coons. You get the coons from West Africa, the continent. I'm trying to be respectful, but you get the coons, and they come and they look down on you, and they try to. I've been told, oh, y'all don't have culture. I've been racially profiled by a coon Nigerian. Maybe it's from Ghana, I'm not sure, but those things happen. Those are real things that happen. So people act much different when they get to this country, because the system is different. They don't know the system. And because of the propaganda that was fed to you guys on the continent, that we are thugs and we're dangerous and we're gangsters and we're this and we're that, they fed us both lies. So you got people from the continent coming here and they being disrespectful. And then you got us coming over there and we like, oh my gosh. So it's a mess. And I don't want to be one-sided. There were a lot of situations where African kids were getting bullied a lot, but not because so much they're African. It's because here we literally talk mad shit about each other. Like, it's just ingrained in us. Like, everybody gets roasted. And so when you come from a culture where respect is really big, and then you come to a country where everybody takes nothing serious, everyone's like, oh, you ain't got no eyebrows, you look Asian. Like, I was in school, people said I was Asian. They said I was Asian. People thought I was an Asian kid. Like, what? So everybody was getting it, but that doesn't mean that it still doesn't hurt. That doesn't mean that it still doesn't hurt. But yeah, African kids were getting bullied, and African people were coming here and looking down on Black Americans. So it's definitely both sides of the spectrum.
So I've been seeing all the videos with Ishow Speed being in South Africa. and all the love and support he's been getting, but I've been also seeing a lot of comments on those videos like, what do Americans think of South Africans? Why do they think so less of us and whatnot? And it's not even that. It's just how we were brainwashed. I mean, growing up, we're always told how Africans don't like Black Americans. For example, it's like one of my friends, he's Senegalese, and his dad hates Black Americans. They usually hate Black American men. They feel a lot of the times Black American men are so lazy and just entitled and this and that. And so like growing up, his dad hated the fact that he hung out with us because we were Black and we wasn't African. So it's like when we see stuff like that, we're like, oh, it's true. And then you got the commercials with the send a penny, feed Africans and whatnot. So we seeing all this, and then all the jokes, the African booty scratcher, the clicking and whatnot. These different things just brainwash us to think that it's not civilized. It's a third world country everywhere in Africa. That's what it brainwashes us to believe. And so like for me, it's like, me as an adult, I didn't think that I wanted to go to Africa until up until recently, 3 years ago. Because I've been thinking about okay, I'm tired of America. America sucks. So America sucks, and I'm like, okay, I want to move out the country. I used to want to live in Bali, and then I was like, somehow South Africa came across my when I was doing my research. South Africa came up, and I was just like, so I started doing more research, and I was like, oh, South Africa is really nice. And then I started doing more and more research, and then I was like, bet I want to live in South Africa. And so last year I took a trip to South Africa just to see if I wanted to really make that move, if I really wanted to live in South Africa. And when I say South Africans are so supportive, when I was there, it was the best experience. It was nothing like what I would have thought of. I mean, I knew what I was getting myself into because of the research I put in. And so it was just so nice. The people were so welcoming. It was just, and it's like a hidden gem amongst Black Americans. It's a hidden gem, honestly. When I was getting on my flight to go to South Africa, in Atlanta, by the way, it's a lot of Black people here in Atlanta. I was getting on my flight to go to South Africa, and I was the only Black person on my flight. Everybody else was white. So this told me a lot. What do the white people know about South Africa that we don't know about South Africa? So then it was just like that. And then getting there was just they're so welcoming. They embrace you like their own if you take a likeness to learning their culture and if you respect their culture. And for me, it was just wow, I love it here. I love South Africa. I wish more Black Americans would take the time to do the research and actually get an opinion of their own and take a trip to South Africa. Since I came, I've been to South Africa twice in the last year. Twice. And it's literally my favorite country. And every time I talk to new people that don't know anything about South Africa, they always think, especially when I talk about Cape Town, they're like, oh, it's not a third world country. It's not lions and all this other stuff roaming around. And I'm like, no. And so I educate them and I tell them about South Africa, and they're like, oh, bet I'm going. One of my friends, she just went to South Africa just based off of the stuff that I posted when I went to South Africa and everything that I told her when I was in South Africa and how much I loved it. And now she loves it. So it's just word of mouth. And growing up, being Black Americans, the word of mouth is lions, uncivilized, don't eat, third world countries. This is what we're thinking. So now it's just one of those things we just have to change the narrative. And I just want more Black Americans to learn more about South Africa and all the other African countries. Just go get an idea of your own, honestly.